Alright, so yesterday we found a prestressed concrete beam destroyed in the lab of town engineering building at Iowa State University. So I think you two have something to do with it. Would you care explaining it to me?
Well, it all started back in September of 2021 in our prestressed concrete class. We were learning about prestressed beams when our professor told us about this competition where we could design, fabricate, and test our own prestressed concrete beam, and we were intrigued.
Well, then we created our gang and
A gang?
our team with like the students, and then we had the Forterra company joining us to construct the beam, and then our professor was there to advise us along the way.
So, you supposedly created a team, so how did the beam come out to be?
Okay, so the first thing we had to do was understand the loading requirements of the competition. So the beam had to be was a 20-foot span then there's a point load applied at the midspan as well as 3 feet from the midspan. So once we could understand all the requirements and criteria of the competition, we could start designing the cross section.
That's correct. So then we started with our cross-section design where we came up with the dimensions first. So initially we started with an I section because we thought that would be the optimum cross-section. But then we started comparing that with a rectangular cross-section, and we found out that the I section was having much more constructability issues. So in the end, we kind of decided to go with a rectangular cross-section, which gave us less constructability issues and also cost-cutting benefits.
So, you're cutting the cost or stealing?
Yeah, so I mean...
Anyway, we wrapped up the design with the pre-stressing strands in the beam as well as design the shear reinforcement, and so then came the actually making the beam. So we scheduled a day to go to Forterra's plant. Then when we got there, we set up the forms, we stressed the pre-stressing strands, we tied the stirrups onto there, and then we poured the concrete.
Then we let the concrete cure for 3 days, and then we got the strands cut, and then we got the beam transported from the Forterra plant to our lab in town engineering.
Oh, the scene of the crime.
Okay, then we tested the beam the very next day, and based on the competition loading requirements, and it was going so smoothly. We were able to get the minimum loading criterion onto the beam with no cracking whatsoever, and the entire thing was going on so smoothly, and we were so happy with the whole process. That's when everything started going south.
You see, as we kept adding more load, a crack appeared. And it wasn't a big deal at first, it was a very small crack, it was a hairline crack. But as we kept adding more load, more and more cracks kept appearing. There's more and more, and this kept getting bigger and bigger, and eventually the beam just broke at 35 kips. And the beam was crushed. We crushed the beam.
Aha, we have a confession. So it was you two that broke the beam. So now, you are under arrest. Officers, take them away.
I mean, why did we even do this, Danny? I mean, what did we gain from this whole thing?
Well, we got hands-on experience in physically constructing a concrete beam that's pre-stressed that we designed. And we really learned the importance of communication and design for constructability.
I mean, I do agree with that. I mean, we also learn how difficult it is to, design even a simple structure like this. I mean, the million iterations we had to do. And surprisingly, the actual construction of the beam was the easiest part of the whole crime. I mean, I think at the end of the day, it was worth it. What do you think?
Oh, yeah.
Nice. Wait a minute. How many years are we in for?